Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, for going out on home visit with me today.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm excited about this visit. So, tell me why you decided to go out on a home visit with me today.
Well, part of it is I'm concerned about the progress of the student. So I want to make sure that there's nothing else needed from me or from the school so that we can support the family. So I'm hoping that we get to a point of, where we can connect with the family and let them know that we're here for them, in whatever they need. So,
how many attempts have you made to try to connect with this in particular student and family?
So between phone calls, between texts, between
the
remind texts and the talking points, and emails to the student, whether if the student's new to our school or whether it's been here for a long time, I'm trying to make sure that there's more to that I just don't want them to do the work. I want to know what's going on.
No stone unturned is basically your vibe.
Correct.
I love that.
Perfectly said, yes.
So, not only are you a teacher at ECVHS, you're also a coach.
I coach, yes. I coach cross country and track.
And you're a mentor. And you're doing all the things you need to do to try to help support kids on campus. I know you frequently have come into my office and sent me emails and messages on kids that you're concerned about, just trying to add another layer of support. So I'm really grateful that you're going out with me today, and hopefully this is the home visit that does the trick. Maybe seeing you there with me is going to add that other layer of like, wow, you guys really care.
Thank you for the invite. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've also done Zoom links. I do it every hour.
Wow.
And I'm available for them during the weekends. I'm available for them, whatever time, 7:00 at night. Hey, I don't know how to do this. Can I get a hold of you? And I always tell them, let me get home because I've just finished practice, and then we'll go from there.
It's almost like during COVID, there's been like an extra layer of teaching that goes on beyond the standard hour of teaching. I know in our own household, because my husband's a math teacher as well, it's the same thing. So that's one thing about not only about ECVHS, but our GUHSD teachers in general. It's like the added layer, the extra layer of what we have to do to support our students.
Correct. And it doesn't stop just at school.
Right.
And I think that I don't want to forget that just because I had you one semester or I had you 1 year, I'm here for you if you ever need me along the way.
I love that. Thank you so much. I really hope that we find success at this home visit. Let's see what happens.
I'm hoping to.
I love it. Being open is the first step towards being a good public servant. And that's the other thing. That's what teaching is, working at schools. It's being a public service. So thank you for doing this with me today.
Thank you.
So we just finished a really tough home visit, and I want to check in with you because there was a lot of emotion there from all three of us, the student, the grandma, from you.
Well, it was very personal. First of all, I have a great relationship with the student. He wasn't my student last year, and he ended up in my classroom again this year, and I kind of knew his problems because he's very open about what's going on with him and his grandma. And my grandma has been raising him since he was 3 months old.
I saw a deep connection with that when
I was taking care of my grandparents, so
you can relate.
I could relate. My parents, my grandma didn't have cancer, but his grandma has cancer, and I kind of knew that, but to the point where this cancer is eating her alive, and he's watching this day in and day out, and he's not happy where they live, and he's not happy with his academics, and he wants to do well in sports, and I could see it, and when he works independently, he does the work, and then once he's out of school, he lets it at school, because he has to come home and deal with all this stress. So I didn't think it was going to be this tough. He's a very open kid, and I think that he sees the sincerity. He saw the sincerity in you. He was happy. He told you exactly what he wants to do. He's got 2 more years before he graduates. Hopefully Grandma will be able to see him graduate. Grandma knows that he's well taken care of at school. He's doing therapy. He's doing the things he needs to do. But I think this was important to let Grandma know that we're here for him too, and for them.
That the type of service that we give doesn't just stop at our school doors and our school building.
No.
That it translates to, if you need help, we're coming to you.
Right.
And another thing that the family that he mentioned was that they're struggling also financially, and the dad has been dealing with his own mental health issues, and trying to keep paying the rent. And
well, we just got the call, right, when he's trying to pay the rent, and they're short $400.
They're short $400 for rent.
And what do you do?
What do you do? So we're gonna help with at least taking the grocery bill off the table. So when we get back to school, I'm gonna grab gift cards and groceries, and I'm gonna drop it off either later today on my way home or tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
And we're gonna do that part.
I'll stick with the academics.
You stick with the academics. We're just gonna keep doing what we can. And here's the thing: we can't solve every single problem, but when we work for a school, so we're public servants, and meeting people where they're at and giving them assistance and having them feel held. Sometimes they can try to find the other resources that they need if they don't feel like they're having to scramble for everything, right?
Right.
We're really blessed that we have a lot of community stakeholders that help us with these things, and we just need to keep pushing to continue to embrace those relationships and foster connectivity so that we can do the meaningful work like this, meeting people in their homes, giving them what they need, so that beautiful children like this young man can show up to school every day. He keeps promising, I'll be there, and then and now you see why he stays home. Because if Grandma doesn't feel good the next morning, He wants to take care of her.
He wants to take care of her.
Yeah, I mean, so how can you argue with the kid who's like afraid to go to school because he doesn't know how many more days his grandma has? How can you argue with the kid who maybe isn't showing up to class or not turning in his stuff because has no privacy and he's taking care of grandma and trying to mitigate the peace in the house and kind of help out? Yeah, I get that.
I felt that. Yeah.
I felt that too. Mr. Javier Rodriguez, it's a pleasure doing business with you.
It's not a business. It's
business.
A pleasure.
It is a business. It's the business of caring.
Yes.
It's the business of service. It's what
Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's what we do. It's meaningful work, and it has to happen. Thank you.
Thank you.